Alright, hello, and welcome back to the series where I talk about 5 things I love and hate about a game. Today we will be discussing the original Spyro the Dragon, released on PlayStation 1 back in 1998. Another one of my childhood favourites. But have I been looking at this game through rose-tinted glasses? Surely there's not much to hate about this gem of a game. I'll only be discussing the first game, so not the series in full, and I'll come back to the Reignited trilogy for a future video. With all that being said, here are 5 things I love and hate about Spyro the Dragon.
I hate those bugs! When I become big and strong, like you...
No matter how many times I replay Spyro, I have never enjoyed the flight levels. They're a perfectly okay distraction for some, but for me, I see them as a chore. I just always do them first to get them out of the way, so I can get back to the platforming that Spyro is renowned for. The flight levels, particularly in Spyro 1, are a lot more confusing in places, particularly Wild Flight and Icy Flight, where the correct path is not always obvious. Both of them are more confusing than a dragon warning you about flying boxes.
A wise dragon once told me, aim high in life, but watch out for flying boxes.
Give me treetops or Misty Bog any day of the week over these.
I always believed in you, Spyro!
You gotta believe!
Something that always brings me back to Spyro 1 is its simplicity. There is no backtracking, meaning you can complete every level upon the first time you enter, with only gems to collect, dragons to rescue, and the occasional egg.
Egg! Yeah. Egg!
It does everything you want from a collectathon platforming game. Backtracking is one of my bugbears in gaming, especially when it's unnecessary. It is potentially the Spyro game I've played the most, and I find myself always wanting to come back to and just happily play through, without any money bags or hunter nonsense to get myself all worked up about.
I hate those bugs! When I become big and strong, like you...
With 80 dragons to release in the game, there is a wide variety of advice and humorous quips that some will say once Spyro has freed them.
I'll tell you what to do with those creatures. Smash them, Spyro! Stamp them out and squish them and squash them!
But then there is the standard, "Thank you for releasing me," which is repeated multiple times throughout the game.
Thank you for releasing me.
You'd think after a near-death experience, and almost being trapped for eternity, they might have a little bit more to say than just, "Thanks." Although it could be worse. You could be Cletus.
Spyro, it's great to see you, but I've got to go.
I always believed in you, Spyro!
You gotta believe!
There is nothing more satisfying than the majestic glide of Spyro. Pulling off these perfect glides by gliding at the top of your jump is so satisfying. Without that extra kick you get in the Spyro games later on, the gliding in Spyro 1 always feels more risky. Spyro 1 rewards good gliders, and there's many secrets to find by gliding into secret areas. So make sure to be on the lookout for any of those the next time you play.
I hate those bugs! When I become big and strong, like you...
You wouldn't steal a car, you wouldn't steal a movie, but these thieves would steal an egg. And boy, those thieves are everywhere in Spyro 1, with their annoying laugh and speedy shoes. It does make me wonder though, what do they look like under their robes? Their mocking laugh and their smug demeanor is enough to drive you crazy. Not only are there thieves that have stolen eggs, which are usually not too hard to catch, There is two thieves in particular in treetops, which many would have been frustrated to no end trying to catch. Makes you feel a little bit winded after a big chase.
He's a thief, and he's stolen a dragon egg. You've got to track him down and get that egg. Run! Run! I'm getting a little winded. I always believed in you, Spyro.
You gotta believe!
It's the part of 5 things I love and hate where I sound like a broken record. But yet again, the soundtrack is a big reason to love Spyro. So here are a couple of tracks which are my favourites.
I hate those bugs. When I become big and strong, like you.
Now hear me out. I know this seems odd. How can you hate Spyro in a Spyro game? But this is just in comparison to Spyro's character in later games. I much prefer Tom Kenny as his voice actor. In the first game, he comes across very bratty and a little bit annoying and rude, especially to some of his dragon elders which he has rescued.
But first, let me tell you a story.
No thanks. See ya.
He's a little bit big-headed, thinking he can easily defeat Nasty Nork.
Where's Nasty Nork? I'll torch him.
Which, I mean, he is correct, Nasty Nork is very easy, but you can't be that overconfident that early in the game. Usually he has to be calmed down by his dragon elders.
I always believed in you, Spyro.
You gotta believe.
There are many different chests to break open in Spyro 1. Again, compared to later games where there is less variety. You get chests which pop up with gems, but also these spinners which break open once you flame them enough times. A neat trick with these is that you can try hit enemies with the spinning top. It feels so good and satisfying to pull off these trick shots. Just aim with triangle and the spinning top will land on any enemies that are close by. I remember the first time I did this was in Dry Canyon, where I inadvertently would kill the Nork at the end of the level. When I would make it there myself, I would see there was a pink 25 gem, and I wondered, how did I kill this Nork? Now I just try and kill as many enemies as possible using the spinning top chests.
I hate those bugs. When I become big and strong, like you.
Not gonna lie, I didn't actually realise this game had boss fights when I was young, because they are way too easy and don't really feel like traditional boss fights. Most of them just feel like slightly stronger regular enemies, and don't even attack Spyro. Blowhard in particular is the easiest fight in any game. At least Metalhead feels more like a boss fight when compared to the others, but again, not exactly much of a challenge. As for Nasty Nork, the final boss fight in the game, you spend more time chasing the thieves than fighting him. And again, you just chase him around a bit before he tires out and goes down in 2 hits. Such an anticlimax in what is a fantastic game.
I always believed in you, Spyro.
You gotta believe.
What I've always admired about Spyro 1 is the diverse homeworlds and levels. There are 6 different homeworlds, which is surprisingly the most in any Spyro game. That's probably completely wrong and someone's gonna correct me. Oh, but you forgot that in Legend of Spyro series there is 10 homeworlds. Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. I never played the Legend of Spyro series, but don't tell anyone. Considering this was the first game, each world is completely different to the next, which is fantastic. From the grassy green hills of the Artisan homeworld, onwards to the desert battlefield of Peacekeepers, to the murky swamp in Beastmakers.
And it used to be so beautiful.
I'm sure it was.
Even the dragons you rescue are all completely different in each homeworld, from the chonky tattooed dragons in Peacekeepers to the magical mysterious dragons of the Magic Crafters. Overall, I love this game way more than I hate it, and it was hard to actually think of 5 things I hate about the game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What are some things you love and hate about Spyro 1? Thank you all for watching, but for now, take care and leave me alone.
Uh-oh. Here we go again!